Hi, I'm Richard. I've worked in sync licensing and production music for more than 25 years, both as a publisher and a composer. So in this video, I'm going to break down what a music supervisor actually does, because understanding their role is one of the most important things you can do if you want to succeed in sync. And if you want help preparing your catalogue or your strategy to better connect with supervisors and sync agents, click the first link below to see what I can do for you. Now let's start with a reality check. A lot of people imagine music supervisors as tastemakers scrolling through Spotify all day, looking to discover the next cool indie artist. But that's not how it works. A music supervisor's job is to find the right music for a very specific scene on a tight deadline within clearance and budget constraints. And that right to music could be absolutely any style or genre. Jazz, EDM, metal, 8-bit, chip tunes, South African house, 60s lounge, anything. In fact, the more specific the brief, the harder it is to find the perfect track. And the less mainstream a style is, the harder it is for supervisors to track it down, which makes a well-delivered track in that genre more valuable. So what does a music supervisor actually do? Here's a breakdown of their responsibilities and why they matter. Number one, they work with directors, producers, editors and brands to define the musical needs of their project. Music isn't added to a film or an advert at random. It's shaped by the style and the emotions of the story. Supervisors sit in spotting sessions where the creative team watches the edit and identifies where the music should go. They decide what it needs to achieve and how it should feel. Sometimes they get really specific guidance, like we need something nostalgic with a gentle feel, but usually it's pretty vague. Part of the supervisor's skill is translating that feedback into actual musical direction, which in my opinion is a difficult job. Number two, they'll source music fast. Once the creative direction is clear, they start the hunt for music. That might mean browsing around music libraries, reaching out to sync agents, or digging through saved playlists. They're working under pressure. Deadlines are often measured in days or even hours rather than weeks. That's why having music pre-cleared and well organized matters so much. If your pitch email is long-winded, your metadata is missing from the audio file, or your links don't even work, they simply don't have time to chase it. And frankly, they don't need to, because there are so many other people in front of you who have their act together. Number three, they clear the rights. No matter how perfect your track is, it won't get placed unless it can be legally licensed in time. Music supervisors are responsible for making sure every track in the final product has the right clearance. That means confirming master and publishing rights, checking for uncleared samples, verifying splits, and negotiating fees. If any part of your rights situation is unclear or messy, they're just going to pass on it. Number four, they manage the music budget. Every placement has a financial ceiling. Even on major projects, there are strict limits on what can be spent. Supervisors constantly have to balance the creative value of a track with what it costs. And that's why you'll sometimes see a production music track used instead of a well-known hit. It simply comes down to budget. Number five, they oversee all the licensing paperwork. Even after the perfect track is chosen and approved, there's still a mountain of paperwork. Supervisors send out license agreements, make sure they're signed on time, track usage terms, and coordinate with legal teams to get everything wrapped up before delivery. If something goes wrong, that queue can get pulled at the last minute and the whole process will have to start all over again. So why do I think you need to know all this? Because once you understand what music supervisors are juggling, you start to see how you can help them. And knowing how to help them will get your music placed. If you want to stand out, focus on being easy to use. Start by tagging your files properly with the track title, the composer name, publisher, contact info, etc. Deliver your music in downloadable playlists using platforms like Disco or Bridge.audio. I've linked to both of them below. Make sure you include instrumental versions and stems. Be clear about the rights. Do you own everything? Or if so, say that. And most importantly, be quick. If someone asks for stems, don't wait 3 days to reply. By then, they may have already moved on to somebody else. And remember, music supervisors aren't just listening. They're visualizing. They're watching a scene and asking, does this track support what's happening on screen? If your song shifts emotional gears halfway through, it can break the moment. That's why structure, energy and clarity matter. You're not writing to impress a music nerd. You're writing to help tell a story. And just to be clear, supervisors are not there to develop you. They're not A&R. They're not your manager. If your submission is a mess, they'll move on. That's not being rude, it's just logistics. They're on deadlines and they need to know that the people they're working with are reliable. So when you send a track out, think like a collaborator. Make it easy to listen and easy to clear. Show that you understand what they actually do and that you've done your homework. If you want help preparing a pitch that makes music supervisors hit play, then click the link below to see how I can help you. And remember, if you want to learn what publishers want, don't learn from a random YouTuber, learn from a publisher. Bye for now.